This is your last warning. Expenses will skyrocket and government assistance may not be accessible. To keep your family from being taken off guard, immediately gather the essentials they will need. Don't forget to stock up on these 20 essentials before the end of October. In only a few weeks, millions of people nationwide may not have access to food when supply chains fail, store shelves are bare, and conflicts escalate. The most significant stake, peanut oil, is number 20. Are you really going to ignore peanut oil? Go back and reconsider your choice. This is due to peanut oil's high smoke point, which allows you to cook, fry, or saute almost anything without worrying about it going bad. Unlike some other oils, select dependable brands like Planters or Lena that have stood the test of time because they are more durable and don't break down as easily. Consider the following scenario. If the power goes out and your peanut oil is not only a dietary component, but also a survival tool. Without it, you can end up in a difficult situation where food sticks to your pan or burns. The last thing you want is needless frustration like that. When cooking over an open flame or on a gas burner, the last thing you want is oil that burns too quickly or turns rancid. The useful resource of peanut oil could save you more than just whether you prefer Bragg Heinz or another brand. This wonderful concoction deserves a prominent place in your kitchen. However, it adds more than simply a spicy punch to your dressings. Apple cider vinegar is a true savior for more than just your taste buds. If you detect that your food is about to go bad, this vinegar is your culinary superhero who is worried about germs. Do you still need canned beans and bottled water in your doomsday kit? By sanitizing your tools, avoiding bacterial illnesses, and prolonging the freshness of your vegetables, apple cider vinegar can help you stay healthy when you're on a tight budget. If you haven't already, you're missing out. Take action before it's too late. 18. Honey. If you think sugar will be sufficient, you should think again. Don't forget to stock up on honey. Honey's special ability to never go bad makes it the perfect long-term pantry staple when fresh food becomes limited. It is packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that your body will desperately need. You can use honey as an all-natural antibacterial, but its true benefit lies in its natural healing properties. This is especially true for raw, unprocessed honey from reliable sources, such as your local farm or natural settings. When things go wrong, don't rely on processed sugar because it will just damage your teeth and cause dangerous blood sugar spikes. Honey is more than just a treat. It's a survival necessity. If you use it to soothe sore throats, heal wounds, and boost your immune system, you'll see the importance of this liquid gold. Don't wait until it's too late to start keeping honey. Whether it's V-Kraft singles or any other processed cheese, shelf-stable cheese is about to take center stage, where it belongs. You should not think of cheese as a luxury. Imagine this. When the power goes out, your elegant brie that you were storing for a special occasion turns into a moldy experiment in your refrigerator. Furthermore, in addition to being useful, shelf-stable cheese is also a fantastic source of essential fats and proteins, which are just what you need to maintain your energy boost in times of need. Why restrict yourself to bland, boring emergency food when you can keep a cabinet full of a versatile, protein-rich treat that you can eat right out of the packet, melt into canned chili, or use on a sandwich? Cheese that keeps well on the shelf can transform your survival supplies from bland to bold. Avoiding this pantry need today can seem sensible, but when comfort becomes scarce, you'll be happy you did. Number 16. Baking soda is a game changer for anyone preparing for the unexpected. Whether it's the well-known Arm & Hammer or another brand, you need to have this multi-purpose powerhouse in your toolbox. Why? Because baking soda is more than just a basic baking ingredient, it's a survival gear. When things go wrong, you won't have any taste. So make sure you have enough shelf-stable cheese before the end of October. Imagine that when you run out of yeast, baking soda acts as a natural leavening agent, allowing you to keep your recipe intact. It is an extremely useful and important tool. If you run out of toothpaste, you can use baking soda as a natural and efficient teeth brush. However, that is just the beginning. Baking soda is an amazing cleaning solution that can be used to clean and deodorize anything, from laundry to kitchen counters. It's also a vital first aid material that helps soothe bug stings and neutralize acid burns if you think U15 white vinegar. If you haven't already, it's time to give it some serious thought. Whether you choose a well-known brand like Heinz or the store variety, it's the ingredients that truly make a difference. If you don't have baking soda on hand, you may face needless challenges. Be wise and make sure to put it on your list of essentials before the end of October. We assure you that you will appreciate it later. In everyday life, white vinegar is highly valued for its use in cooking, pickling, and cleaning, but its importance rises sharply in survival situations. For example, white vinegar pickles perishable items like fruits and vegetables to prolong their shelf life, so it can be your savior if you're without electricity and refrigeration isn't an option. Surfaces, utensils, and even water containers can be sanitized using a vinegar and water solution to reduce the risk of contamination and sickness. White vinegar can also be used as a temporary disinfectant for minor cuts or scrapes when medical supplies run low. When your freezer breaks, it's a convenient alternative that could help prolong the freshness of food, but it won't take the place of medical care or commercial disinfectants. Since a tiny bottle of vinegar could mean the difference between a survival situation going tragically wrong, stock up on white vinegar now to safeguard not just your food supply, but also your health and safety. Without it in an emergency, you expose yourself to a number of illnesses, viruses, and bacteria that thrive in unsanitary environments. Remember that it's not only about having food in your cupboard, it's also about making sure the stuff you eat doesn't make you sick, or just a boring side dish. But whether you like Betty Crocker or another brand, these dry flakes are a secret hero in the world of survival cooking. Despite not being a convenience food, instant mashed potatoes should be at the top of your list for the following reasons. They are portable and easy to store, which is important whether you're hunkering down or bugging out. For optimal utility, all you need to turn those flakes into a hot, satisfying supper is water, which may be heated or even refrigerated in an emergency. These simple flakes are not only quick and simple to make, but they are also packed with calories, giving you the energy you need when food is limited or your body is stressed. A single meal contains significant amounts of carbohydrates, which your body will seek out whether or not you're burning calories under pressure. Don't undervalue their versatility either. In addition to being consumed on their own, they can be used to thicken soups, extend the shelf life of other ingredients, or even make temporary breading for fried foods if you happen to have meat or fish on hand. They are more than simply comfort food. They are a useful, flexible food source that can help you extend your supplies. You can use them to handle survival tasks, hike to safety, or just preserve energy after a prolonged power outage. Number 13. Don't undervalue the simple can of evaporated milk. It can make you think of Christmas pies or grandma's fudge. This pantry hero is much more versatile than you may imagine, regardless of whether you prefer Nestle or Carson. You can end up regretting not having quick mashed potatoes on hand when things get tough. Stock up now to ensure you have a dependable, high-calorie, and filling dinner ready when it counts. Although it might make your morning coffee smooth, it's only the beginning. To give your sauce depth, your soup smoothness, and your baked goods richness, use a splash. The fact that evaporated milk is a fantastic source of calcium and vitamin D, two nutrients essential for strong bones and a robust body, may surprise you. It's definitely a culinary need, and its incredibly long shelf life comes in handy when fresh dairy isn't accessible. Immune system, picture a future in which your body is deficient in essential nutrients. Your coffee has no flavor, your baked goods are flat, and your soups have lost their deliciously creamy texture. Don't let that depressing circumstance become your reality. Immediately stop using evaporated milk and stock your pantry with solely powdered creamer and regret. If you believe that instant rice should only be used for slow, last-minute dinners, you should reconsider. This fundamental necessity ought to be at the top of your list when it comes to emergency preparedness. Regardless of whether you like Uncle Ben's or Minute Rice, you should stock up now before you run out of food for long-term food preservation. Instant rice is more than simply a quick lunch. It's necessary for emergency survival. In circumstances where fuel and energy are scarce, instant rice performs admirably. In contrast to traditional rice, which can take up to 45 minutes to prepare, instant rice conserves valuable resources like cooking fuel when every second counts. A delicious dinner may make a big difference. This pantry powerhouse is lightweight, incredibly versatile, and convenient to store. It can be used with tinned beans, vegetables, or meats to provide a nutritious, well-rounded meal. You can also add some Boon cubes or any leftover protein for extra flavor and nutrition. To sum up, quick rice is not only useful, but it's also your go-to comfort food when you're exhausted or nervous. You should think again if you think that uncooked rice might be a good substitute for cooked rice when times get rough. Long cooking times in survival mode 11 deplete your resources, which you just cannot afford. Boon cubes. Over time, the enjoyment of your meals may be significantly diminished if you make the rookie mistake of ignoring how crucial it is to stock up on Boon cubes. Regardless of your preference for brands like No Maggi or others, these little shelf-stable cubes will become your gourmet lifeline when your emergency food supply is reduced to dull necessities, sans Boon cubes. In survival situations where fresh resources are scarce, a small amount of seasoning can significantly enhance the flavor of a simple dish. The thought of consuming dull, repetitive meals in the future can exacerbate an already stressful situation. The addition of Boon cubes, which are quite versatile, and not only for soups, may instantly turn a plain pot of rice, beans, spaghetti, or any other basic cuisine into something much more flavorful. In addition to their delicious flavor, Boon cubes' portability, low weight, and lack of refrigeration make them ideal for long-term storage. You should think twice if you think these cubes are only a luxury item. When times go rough, having them in your cupboard will give you the flavors and nutrition you need to keep meals interesting. In other words, stockpiling Boon cubes in advance is a wise technique to avoid dull dinners during difficult times. Number 10. Black strap molasses. If you believe you can survive in an emergency without a dependable source of energy and nutrients, think again and seriously. You may not be aware of it, but adding a little taste to your emergency dinners will make them hearty and comforting. Your sanity and taste buds will appreciate you including this important element in your preparations for the Blackstrap molasses is more than just a delicious emergency syrup. It's your access to vital nutrition. Unlike regular syrups, blackstrap molasses is a nutrient-dense food source that is high in potassium, calcium, magnesium, and iron. If you do not begin hoarding it right now, you will be losing out on one of the most vital survival tools. Whether it's a well-known family favorite or a brand like Plantation or BR Rabbit, get your hands on some. Vital for maintaining bodily functions when fresh food is scarce. Insufficient iron intake can lead to anemia, which causes weakness, fatigue, and impaired cognitive function. Low calcium and magnesium levels can cause your muscles to spasm, your bones to become brittle, and your system to barely hold together. Both heart and muscle function, which are essential for survival, depend on potassium. Now let's talk about your body's energy crisis that happens when you're under a lot of stress. Even while fatigue can strike quickly, you won't survive long if you're... When everything else fails, blackstrap molasses provides the steady fuel you need to keep going. It's not just about sweetening your tea, it's about survival number 9. When the dairy section is just an empty cooler and the grocery store shelves are empty, powdered milk will be your savior. As long as fresh milk is easily accessible, you might think that powdered milk isn't worth your time. Businesses like Carnation and Nestlé's Nido are durable, often possessing a shelf life of months or even years. They are also an excellent source of calcium, protein, and vitamins, all of which are vital for sustaining your health, in the event that fresh dairy is not accessible. However, the culinary versatility of powdered milk is revolutionary. It's not only a cereal alternative or a backup for your morning coffee. You can use it to make pancakes or bread cakes, as well as creamy soups, sauces, and casseres. If you want when someone needs a healthy beverage or even something to increase the protein content of a meal, powdered milk becomes an essential ingredient. Imagine if a natural disaster, a major crisis, or a disruption in the supply chain had caused fresh milk to become unavailable. A power outage might cause the milk in your refrigerator to go bad in a matter of hours. Without powdered milk, you'll be rushing to locate a source of calcium protein and other essential elements. In addition to having strong bones, keep in mind that calcium is necessary for heart health and muscular function. Without it, you may encounter serious. One essential item for your emergency pantry is canned pumpkin. It is the most effective strategy for both short-term crises and long-term survival. Health issues include things like weak bones, dental issues, and even a compromised immune system. A quantity of powdered milk will keep you safe when the fresh food supply runs out. It's the difference between feverishly living on inferior substitutes and keeping up a good diet. Is canned pumpkin not a joke, especially from companies like Organic Valley or Lives? Canned pumpkin is an unsung hero that needs greater respect and isn't just for Thanksgiving pies. Imagine the following situation. In late October, fresh vegetables are in short supply. Because canned pumpkin is a nutrient-dense, high-vitamin, high-fiber food that can be added to soups, stews, and baked products, you'll be glad you bought it in this instance. It also strengthens your immune system. 7. Cornmeal. Is cornmeal really being disregarded? If so, you're passing up one of the most practical and necessary pantry essentials. Products from companies like Quaker and Bob's Red Mill are dependable options that are frequently seen in kitchens. Ignoring the potential of canned pumpkin is akin to failing to use an ace in the hole. Later on, you will regret not having this nutrient-dense gem in your pantry. Cornmeal is not only an essential component of American cuisine, but it is also essential for survival. You may use it to make hearty recipes like hearty polenta or as a breading for any protein you can find. The best part is that cornmeal is incredibly calorie-dense, incredibly filling, long-lasting, and hardly prepped. You will eventually experience extreme hunger sensations if you ignore this. 6th, when things go tough, you'll wish you had listened. If you don't stock up on cornmeal soon, be ready to pay the price for sacrificing this essential. Yes, I'm talking about heart attack. You might be inclined to roll your eyes, but it would be a major error to think that I'm too modern for this ancient survival meal. To understand that heart attack is more than just a thing of the past, consider Civil War soldiers or sailors. Hard TC's remarkable shelf life and practically indestructible quality made it their lifeline when they traveled into dangerous waters. While modern survival meals have long since gone rotten, guess who's still going strong? When all other energy fails, the essential calories in hardteak will keep you going. Ignoring hardteak could be a big mistake. Start storing this simple yet efficient recipe for times of need if you don't want to regret it while you're hungry and chewing on your misplaced meal. 5th, don't think you can survive without coffee. Whether you prefer Nescafe or Maxwell House, now is the time to stock up. Don't think of caffeine as a luxury until you're in the middle of a crisis and experiencing severe withdrawal symptoms. Instant coffee can be a mental lifeline when sleep is a distant memory and every moment counts. Comfort. Don't make the mistake of assuming you can get by without it. Your sanity depends on it, so get as much instant coffee as you can. Ignoring this will leave you cooking dandelion roots and yearning for the real thing. When that hot cup of joe is the only thing keeping you going, I can assure you that you will be glad you have a plan. In the middle of pandemonium, it could feel priceless. Reality Bites is a potent negotiation tool, even when it's harsh. Even though you think fresh eggs will always be accessible, powdered eggs will be your hidden weapon if supply chains fail. Brands like Austin Farms provide a shelf-stable, high-protein alternative that isn't going bad. This is why powdered eggs are so versatile. You can use them to make scrambled eggs to add to baked goods. More than simply standard cupboard goods, emergency food supplies are essential to keeping you fed, hydrated, and ready for anything. Products, or even add them to soups and casseroles for flavor. They can also be substituted for fresh eggs in nearly any recipe. Protein has a crucial role in survival. If you imagine a time when protein will be in short supply, is it really worth it to hoard powdered eggs now? Your future self will be forever grateful if you are well and fed. It may seem optional to add 3 canned pineapples, but think twice. Brands like Dole or DeLong should be at the top of your list. When your diet isn't the best, the natural enzymes in pineapple help with digestion, which is quite helpful. Additionally, the juice can be used as a base for marinades and sauces, or as a cool beverage to add flavor to your food. When fresh produce becomes a luxury, You'll be grateful for canned pineapple since it's packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and natural sugars to keep you going when other food sources run low. When the fresh fruit has long since been eaten, 2 canned salmon will be a tasty and nutritious option. Let's be honest, if you don't have canned salmon in your emergency supplies, you are failing miserably. Make sure the fish you find is of a great quality, whether it's salmon, sardines, mackerel, tuna, or anything else. Products like Bumblebee Starkist and Wild Planet are rich in protein, omega-3 fatty acids, and other essential nutrients, which will keep you strong while when times are tough, don't believe you can get by without a consistent supply of protein and healthy fats. Without it, your body can start burning muscle for energy, which could make you exhausted, weak, and more prone to illness. Canned salmon is the perfect no-cook survival food because it can be consumed right out of the can and doesn't need to be refrigerated. When the time comes for protein to become limited, I can assure you that you will be happy you began stockpiling canned fish. Any trustworthy survival pantry must include canned beans. If you're not hoarding them, you're missing out on an important component of your preparedness strategy. Not only are these items practical, but they are essential for staying strong, healthy, and prepared for anything. If you take action now, you'll thank yourself later. There are numerous varieties, including kidney beans, chickpeas, black beans, pinto beans, and others. Brands like Bush's Best and Goya are well known and reliable because to their long shelf life and constant quality. Small cans of beans are consequently quite powerful since they are so rich in protein, fiber, iron, potassium, and B vitamins, nutrients that are essential when fresh food isn't available. Unlike other non-perishable foods, beans provide a good mix of macro and micronutrients. If you think you can get by on rice and pasta, you're putting yourself at risk for a nutritional deficit. If you don't consume beans for their protein and fiber, you'll have less energy, and you'll probably have digestive problems and a slower rate of muscle regeneration. Additionally, beans add a much-needed variety to your meals, keeping your diet balanced and your body strong. They are an excellent, low-maintenance food that keeps for years without needing to be refrigerated. During a protracted calamity, beans will be your go-to source of energy, preserving muscle mass, and preventing famine when fresh food becomes scarce. If you ignore this superfood, you run the danger of experiencing not just physical exhaustion, but also mental fog and irritability as a result of inadequate nutrition. Canned beans are not a choice. They are a must for survival nourishment, so stock up now. The difference between surviving a crisis and thriving could be determined by them. The time has come for action. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you would like additional tips on how to prepare and protect yourself in uncertain times. You know what you need to stockpile, and time is running short. Get these essentials before it's too late, when the shelves are bare and all of your options are gone, to ensure the safety and well-being of your family. Remember that preparing is not about being scared. It is about being smart and prepared to deal with any scenario that may come up.